Let me take you back to a time when one company was so dominant, its name became a verb, a feeling, and a part of everyday life. This is the story of a business that didn't just sell cameras, it captured the very essence of memories for generations. I'm talking about Kodak, the giant that ruled the camera world. For decades, if you wanted to remember a birthday, a wedding, or a family vacation, you reached for a Kodak camera. Their yellow boxes lined store shelves everywhere, and their film was the gold standard. Back then, a Kodak moment wasn't just a slogan, it was a cultural phenomenon. It meant something so special, so precious, you just had to capture it forever. Kodak helped people freeze time, turning fleeting moments into cherished memories. At their peak, Kodak owned over 80% of the global photo market. Their stock soared, their ads were everywhere, and their brand was trusted in nearly every home. They were unstoppable, a true titan of industry. But, like all legends, their story took a dramatic turn. The world changed, and Kodak, once the king of photography, found itself facing challenges it never expected. Suddenly, the bustling offices and factories grew quiet. The stores that once buzzed with customers closed their doors. Kodak was no longer at the top. In 2012, Kodak, the same company that helped the world fall in love with photography, filed for bankruptcy. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. How could a company so powerful fall so far, so fast? Here's the twist. Kodak actually invented the digital camera. That's right, in 1975, one of their own engineers built the very first digital camera prototype. They were decades ahead of the curve, holding the future in their hands. The prototype was clunky, but revolutionary. It could capture images without film, a concept that would eventually change the world. But instead of celebrating, Kodak's managers panicked. Why? Because digital cameras didn't need film, and film was Kodak's cash cow. Their entire business model depended on people buying roll after roll of film. Instead of embracing the future, they buried the idea. The digital camera was locked away, seen as a threat rather than an opportunity. Kodak's leaders chose to protect their existing profits rather than invest in what was coming next. They focused on short-term gains, signing deals and counting cash, while ignoring the tidal wave of change on the horizon. Their vision was clouded by fear of losing what they already had. Meanwhile, companies like Canon, Sony, and eventually Apple saw the opportunity. They jumped in, innovated, and took over the market. Digital photography exploded, and Kodak was left behind. Kodak ended up watching, helpless, as their own invention destroyed them from the sidelines. The world moved on, and Kodak's refusal to adapt sealed their fate. So what can you and I learn from Kodak? Their story is more than just a business case, it's a warning for anyone afraid of change. If you don't disrupt yourself, if you don't challenge your own comfort zone, someone else will. The world doesn't wait for you to catch up. Kodak was afraid to kill their old business. They clung to what was familiar even as the world changed around them. But that fear, the fear of letting go, is exactly what killed them in the end. It's a lesson in how holding on too tightly to the past can cost you your future. Innovation doesn't wait for anyone. Technology keeps moving, and those who don't adapt get left behind. The pace of change is only getting faster. Whether you're building a business, creating content, or just growing in life, you have to keep evolving. The world rewards those who are willing to reinvent themselves, so ask yourself, am I evolving or just holding on to the past? Am I open to new ideas or stuck in old habits? Because if you're not moving forward, you're already falling behind. The world doesn't pause for anyone. That's the story of Kodak, a company that once defined an industry but lost its way by refusing to change. They invented the future, but chose not to live in it. Let their story be a reminder. Innovation is a journey, not a destination. If you found this story valuable, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real lessons from the business world. There's always more to learn from the past. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep moving forward, and I'll see you next time.